Everyone remembers the day when Sergei Skripal slumped on a bench in a quiet English cathedral town and the world suddenly smelled of fear. It was March 4th, 2018. In the sleepy city of Salisbury, a former Russian military intelligence officer who had betrayed Moscow years earlier and his daughter were found unconscious outside a shopping center. Ambulances arrived. For hours, clinicians, detectives, and residents stood bewildered as emergency services treated two people with symptoms never before seen on British soil. The cause? A military-grade nerve agent of the Novichok family. Skripal's past explains the motive. A double agent recruited by British intelligence in the 1990s, he was arrested in Russia, imprisoned, then quietly swapped and resettled in the UK in 2010. He had been living a low-profile life in Salisbury until a targeted act of violence made him the center of an international confrontation. Investigators soon pieced together a pattern of deliberate contamination. Traces of the nerve agent were found on Skripal's front door handle, on the bench where he collapsed, and later, horrifyingly, in a discarded perfume container that would claim another civilian life. British authorities concluded this was not a random poisoning, but a careful, state-level operation. A lethal agent delivered in public, designed to injure or kill and to send a message. The conspiracy that emerged was stark. UK Prime Minister Theresa May publicly blamed elements of the Russian state, alleging the attack came from agents of the GRU, Russia's military intelligence service. Moscow denied involvement. Two men traveling on Russian passports under the names Alexander Petrov and Ruslan Boshirov appeared on CCTV in Salisbury and soon claimed, in a glazed television interview, they were tourists who had come to see the cathedral. Independent investigators, led by open-source groups such as Bellingcat, used travel records, leaked documents, and meticulous visual forensics to identify those two men as GRU officers Anatoly Chapiga and Alexander Mishkin. The passports were fakes, the men were not tourists. The fallout was immediate and severe. Britain expelled diplomats. Allies across Europe and North America followed with their own expulsions. International bodies confirmed the agent's identity. Laboratories reported Novichok-class compounds, a Cold War technology revived for a modern message. In late June and early July, the case claimed another life. Dawn Sturgis, a local woman, handled the contaminated perfume bottle and died on July 8, 2018. Her partner, Charlie Rowley, was gravely ill but survived. A town that had once been defined by a Gothic spire now carried the imprint of geopolitics on its pavements. The conspiracy was as much about signaling as assassination. Analysts argued Moscow wanted to intimidate other defectors and demonstrate reach to show that exile did not equal safety. The method mattered. A nerve agent is terrifying, its traces dangerous for weeks, and its use on public streets guaranteed maximum alarm. Yet the operation was clumsy in execution. Leaving a trail of contamination in a town of civilians suggested either reckless indifference or an intent to terrify the entire community. Investigations and courtrooms would not bring a neat closure. Russia refused to surrender the men the UK named, and its state media portrayed them as victims of Western hysteria. Independent journalism and forensic science filled gaps left by diplomacy, exposing layers of deception, false identities, travel routes, and unit histories linking the suspects to past covert operations. The British